Hey, Riddlers. Even Sherlock Holmes can't solve a crime without evidence. But sometimes that evidence is really hard to spot. A bank was robbed, and luckily, the cops showed up real fast. They detained 3 people. They'd been near the bank when it all happened. There was a pregnant woman, an old man, and a blind guy. They all said they had nothing to do with the robbery, but the cops were pretty sure they knew who had done it. Who's suspicious? The blind guy. He has a camera. How would that even work? Ethan, Jacob, Caden, and Jackson went to a brand new ski resort. It was so new, they were the only guests there. Perfect. They went out skiing together, and after a while, they all headed off in different directions. Later on, they found Jacob lying on the snow, unconscious. They called Detective Smith right away. He looked at the crime scene and spotted the crucial piece of evidence. So which one of them did it? It was Ethan. There's something different about him. At first, he had 2 matching ski poles, but suddenly now they're different. John went to Megamart to buy some food. Donuts, burgers, this place has it all. John was in there for 2 hours. Then he headed for the parking lot. Someone had just crashed into his car. Was it worth all those donuts he ate? John went up to the 3 people near his car.
I was just passing. Stopped to see if you needed any help.
I was shopping with my son. We didn't drive, we live right over there. I got here half an hour ago. That's my car. Who crashed into John's car? See the kids on board sticker? Looks like that guy did drive here. He almost got away with it. 2 guys got kidnapped. It was all over social media. It all happened a few months ago. Detective Brown's on the case. After months of looking, he was onto something. He had found the criminal's house. He snuck in. When he got to the basement, he found 3 guys all tied up. Brown realized one of them was the kidnapper, pretending to be a victim. Who's the kidnapper? The guy with a clean-shaved face. If he'd been tied up for months, he should have a full-out beard by now. Sam was chasing a thief. He'd just stolen his girlfriend's purse, but the thief must have run track in high school or something. Sam could barely keep up. The thief ran into a restaurant and hid among the customers. Sam went in. He looked around and spotted the thief. Which one is he? There he is. He hid the purse behind the chair. Mr. White's sons found their dad unconscious on the floor in his office. They called Detective Davies. Here's the backstory. Mr. White is uber rich. Each brother was going to inherit loads of money. One of them must have needed money ASAP. Davies questioned each of the brothers separately in Mr. White's office.
I came in here to feed the fish. I saw Dad. He was fine. I came by to discuss my business plans. Dad gave me some great advice. I went into Dad's office. I needed a favor. I wanted to borrow his car to impress a girl.
Who lied? Jerry said he came to feed the fish. Sure, there's an aquarium, but no fish. Mr. Wilson and Mr. Moore were on their private jet. They'd just signed a really important contract. Then, Mr. Wilson was telling Detective Taylor what happened. Mr. Moore put the contract on the table and went to the toilet. Suddenly the door opened and he was sucked out of the jet. What a terrible accident. Detective Taylor looked around the cabin. He realized Mr. Wilson was lying. How? If the door had opened, the contract would have flown away. But it's still right there on the table. The owner of a ski resort called Detective Miller. Last night, during a heavy storm, someone stole all the resort's cash. It was the end of the season, so there were only 3 guests. The detective questioned all of them.
I didn't leave my room last night. Slept right through the storm.
I took a sleeping pill and passed out.
I was out all night. I got back like 5 minutes before you got here.
Who stole the money? It was John. There weren't any footprints leading to the resort. He made it all up. Detective Johnson was having lunch at a cafe. He looked through the window, saw his neighbor rushing home. They both lived next to the cafe. Suddenly, she ran back in, all freaked out. She said her apartment was robbed while she was out. She didn't touch anything, just ran to find the detective. Detective Johnson went to see the crime scene. And on his weekend, he looked around and realized there was no robbery. How did he know? The umbrella. His neighbor had it with her when she was rushing home, and she said she didn't touch anything? Well, she obviously lied. She just threw some things around to make it look like a robbery. Detective Smith got a call. The cashier at Ronald's got attacked at noon. Smith came and looked around. He decided to question the workers of the office nearby. The manager said they usually come in for lunch.
I was there today. For breakfast, though. I never go to Ronald's. Fast food is nasty. I've been on a diet this whole month. Haven't been in there for ages.
The detective had found the culprit. Who? It was Mark. He's lying. He said he never goes to Ronald's. So why is there a French fries wrapper in his trash? The biggest bank in town just got robbed. Local police was all over it. They even had 2 suspects. Wow, that was fast. Some cops went over to search their houses. They saw a clue and figured out who the criminal was. How? There's the same picture in both houses. But here, it's upside down. There's probably a stash behind there. And of course there is. Laura was found in her house. You guessed it, unconscious. Detective Roberts was on the scene. He questioned Laura's neighbors.
Today's my day off. I've been home alone all day. I was gonna go on a picnic with some friends. but it's been raining non-stop.
I got home like half an hour ago. I was at the office all day. I went shopping. Just got back.
Who's lying? Emma's lying. It's been raining all day. If she really left and came back, it wouldn't be dry under her car. That's the kind of thing a real detective spots right away. There was a robbery at a warehouse. Obviously, the cops questioned the security guard. He was hot, so he sat down to watch some football, had some ice water. Just then, 2 men broke into the room and hit him. He was out cold. When he woke up, the thieves were already gone. He didn't touch anything, just immediately called the police.
When did this happen?
Like an hour ago. The policeman saw a tiny clue. The security guard was lying. There was no robbery. Did you spot the evidence? He got his drink over an hour ago. The ice should have melted by now. Hey, which case was the hardest? Tell me which one you failed. See you guys next time.